guys. Welcome back to LA Dance Diary. My name's Rach.
I'm Abby.
And we're back with another episode here in season 2.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday, so kick back, relax. We're talking about body and health maintenance today.
Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to dive into this topic both on like a physical standpoint, but also a more like emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
And talk about 2 very different periods of time, because there's going to be periods of time where you're super busy, you're working all the time, whether that's on a dance and creative job or not. And then there's also times in life where you're really not busy. And how I act and how I show up for my physical self as well as my emotional, mental self is very different when I'm busy versus when I'm not.
Yeah.
So I thought we could chat a little bit about what your tips are, tricks are, and compare the 2.
Yeah. I mean, we can start with yours if you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so let's talk about when we're super busy. I know you're more busy than I am right now, but I've had periods of my life where, you know, for multiple months at a time, I'm doing a show, and it's the same show. Maybe it's every night of the week.
Yeah.
It's 5 nights a week. And I was performing at, for example, this one I was performing at like 11 p.m. every single night.
Which one was that one?
So this was for Halloween.
The Halloween one.
Year.
I came to that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh yeah, you did.
I came. Yeah. That was a heavy show run for you, huh?
Yeah, it was a big show run for us.
Yes.
So we would do 5 shows a night.
Wow.
I believe. It was a 7 to 10 minute show, and we kind of ran it on the hour every hour. We had multiple casts, so we switched off. That was nice. But it was a late night show, and I was performing later than I ever had in my life, but also our dressing room was outside. So, like, all of it, like, we were, you know, running outside, inside, getting cold, wearing robes, getting naked for the stage, you know, all that stuff. So, for example, there are times like that were super busy.
Yeah.
During that time, the way I showed up for my body was very, very different. I would have to do like a morning or midday routine to kind of go through, you know, a general warm up on the bike, and then also kind of like dealing with all of my body stuff. I was doing rehab exercises on my knee at the time, and then I was doing a little bit of strength work so that I felt ready to go. And then after each show night, I would have to come home and roll out in ways that, like, I would be doing something at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. some nights, really tired. But if I didn't do it, I would be so sore the next day. I would have, you know, bruising sometimes from the stage. So it was just really important to kind of like stretch and roll late night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you like had to adjust your schedule completely.
I had to adjust
fit the
my
show.
entire schedule to fit the show. I was still working. So I would have work hours too, like during the day.
Yeah.
But I had to change my sleep schedule and everything.
Wow. And how were you eating during that time? Like, is there a way that you were, you know, especially with the sleep difference and the just multiple shows and stuff, like, is there anything that was helping you during that?
Yeah, usually I'm more of an intermittent faster and like regular living, and I'm not really a big breakfast and lunch person. But those days, like, I would have to kind of have a midday meal, and then I would kind of fast through the evening. Whereas, like, on a typical schedule, I'll be more fasting during the day and having like my big meal at night.
Yeah.
But I would try and eat before and then like have a little snack at 2 a.m. sometimes.
I mean, like, nutrition-wise, were you eating in ways that would supplement the body and, or, you know?
I wasn't as good nutritionally back then than I think I am now.
Gotcha.
To be honest. Yeah, and so I was wondering if you had any, like, kind of meal prep tips, because I really struggled at that time with, like, having the right amount of food and, like, having it ready to go. I spent a lot of money during that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm not consistent with it. I can't say that I do it every week, but if I know I have a busy week, or if I know that I'm going to be tempted with things, you know, like if I know I have a social occasions, I try and meal prep, especially on those weeks, because it makes me make better choices. Like if I know that, and then also it's like, okay, so say if I've meal prepped lunches, at least I know that my lunch is going to be healthy because I've made a nutritious meal. And then if I end up out with friends or like post-rehearsal dinners and stuff, if I get something that's not as healthy or I don't really know what's in it, I've at least got my protein and, good vegetables in. So I try to, even if it's just lunch, if you can meal prep a lunch, just make sure you have some like chicken and rice or, like a nice pasta with some protein in there or something with some veggies or, even chopping up some fruit.
I'm a big fan of protein shakes too.
Yeah.
Just because like as a dancer, when you feel like you bloat heavy, sometimes that for me was like an easy way to get it in without feeling.
Yeah. I think at the moment as well, I'm very much aware of like, I let myself go for like 4 or 5 months. And I think I keep reminding myself now, I'm like, don't get ready, stay ready, because there's some opportunities that are happening that even now I'm like, oh, I was so much heavier. Or I was just not physically as well, as I would like to have been. So I think I'm really like trying to balance that a lot more at the moment. It's like, okay, whether I'm busy, whether I'm working 24/7 or whether I'm completely free, just having that baseline of like gym and some nutritious meals in there as just the absolute regular that I do, it just at least makes me feel and look less bloated, makes me just make better choices. And then it's like, okay, if I know that I have a show in a month, I can kind of ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's so good.
But it's not, I feel like starting now or like where I'm at now, I was coming back from such a low and it's taken so much more effort as opposed to just like, like we were talking about in another episode, you're not going to be 100% every day.
Yeah, of course.
But just staying at those regular habits and just keeping them there enough so that if you need to ramp it up, you can ramp it up quite easily as opposed to going from 0 to 100.
Yes. And that's why I think it's so important. And I like had to lighten my gym routine so much when I was performing because I can't strength train like that.
No,
when
not
I'm
when you're dancing.
Literally
like
doing a show like that every night. Like I tried it for a second and I was just sore and like it just wasn't really working.
Yeah.
So having that normal gym routine puts you in a place that when the level activity goes even higher, like you're going to be fine. If anything, you'll drop down.
Yeah, totally. So I think it's like keeping some of those basic things and just keeping them as consistent as you're able to. And then and then it's just much easier. Like you said, you get a crazy schedule change or something happens in life.
Yeah.
All of these things. It's like, I think if you have that baseline of like some of those routines and habits, you can change them much quicker than starting them.
That's so true.
That's what I'm telling
myself. Why does it always come back to routines and habits?
All the time.
It's like everything that you do, because when you are that busy, if you're thinking, you're not always going to make the best choices. But if something is second nature to you, you're going to just grab the snack. You already meal prepped the chicken, so it's ready to go. You don't even have to question a healthy lunch. You can just have it.
It gives you more freedom to make the bigger choices than worrying about those things. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to go to the gym at 8 a.m. every morning. Okay, I know that I have a lunch. I'll just grab it and take it with me.
Absolutely.
Then, my brain is free to like think about some other stuff.
So important.
Yeah.
So important. What about when you're not busy? Of course, having the normal gym routine.
Yeah.
What about on the mental health side of things? And like sleep, catching up on sleep.
I feel like that's something I actually have to physically like force myself to do. Like the last week or so, I've been catching up on sleep. Like I've been having nights where I sleep 8-9 hours, which usually I don't. Usually I'm like a 6 kind of girl, like 5-6. And then during like last month, that it was not a choice. I had to sleep 5 hours to get everything done, and that was how it was working out. So yeah, when I'm like a little downtime, I'm like, at least I can try and get on that regular sleep schedule so that again, if I have a night where I can't sleep,
so smart.
At least I've like not run myself into the ground 7 nights or like gone out. Like I've really stopped myself as well the last few weeks. I've been so proud of myself. I've not been going out at night, and you know me, I love a little.
Yeah, you're social. You love to bop around.
But even like when we popped out to the bar, or we've gone to see a movie with friends and we've gone to the bar afterwards or something, I've been very, very good about being in bed by midnight. Just because I'm like, I can't add that on top of everything else.
It's just tough if it's like a normal week and you have to get up for the next day. Like I just personally, I can't do it, you know, and I know my day will suffer if I stay out too late.
And I don't mind doing that on occasion, but it's like, I think that I've had to teach myself to recognize, like, because I am that girl that I'll be out and I'll see the next 10 days that I have and know they're all crazy, and I'll be like, I'm fine because I know I will be fine. I'll drink a coffee, I'll chug a Celsius, I'll get on with it. No one else will know. But I'm starting to think more about like, yeah, but what's that doing to my mental health? What's that doing to my physical health? For the sake of 3 extra hours being out or 2 extra hours being out, just go home, sleep, and you'll be more rested and you'll have a better time and you're not like sending yourself into an early grave, which is what I feel like I do on occasion, you know, I will like burn the candle at both ends, like nobody's business. And no one else will know. I remember, Abby, how are you live right now? I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask me.
During this time, like with the whole surgery and everything, like I've just been so tired.
Yeah.
And like more than anything, I am sleeping closer to 8, 9 hours sometimes.
But women
like
need
every night.
Women are supposed to need like 9.5 or something like that. Like we need more.
And I was talking with my best friend Molly. She was saying something about like, you know, when we age, like we really like don't have that same level of like awake endurance,
bounce
like
back.
Ready to go bounce back. And I for a second I was like, am I losing like my shit? Like am I just not on it anymore? But I really think it's just my hormones, like things are just changing in my body a little bit. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But I feel so good now.
Yeah.
8 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna keep this.
Prioritizing rest.
Great.
It really does.
Yeah.
You know? And like funny talking about this because I'm the person that will sacrifice rest just in general, like sitting down.
Oh my God. It's
chilling.
Such a big thing. I remember I have a
sacrifice
friend
it all the time.
I have a friend who was doing that show with me that I talked about. But she normally works in the TV industry, Kendra. And she's like hitting those 11, 12, 14-hour days. And I'm like, anytime you don't have that, I know you want to take class on your day off. I know you want to go like be social. I know maybe you want to go out, see a friend. But like making sure to build in that recuperation time is so important. Otherwise, you will get injured.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to chill on the sofa.
And
nice
refueling your body
Yeah.
is so
Totally.
important so that you don't get injured.
Yeah.
This happened. I was doing a juice cleanse.
Yeah.
I didn't eat for 3 days.
Yeah. We
I
gotta
didn't eat
put
for 3
food.
days.
We got.
I was juice cleansing. I was drinking
I remember
my
that.
calories. I looked so snatched, but now I look more snatched because I know how to maintain my body.
Yes.
Without
properly.
it. Yeah, without
and fueling it for the job it
Yes.
has to do, bouncing around and jumping and cardio and all the things that
all
we
those
have to do as dancers.
things.
Yeah.
Because if
Gotta
you don't
eat.
take care of those, you know,
Have to eat real meals. You have to try and eat.
and lack of sleep
Properly.
is another
lack
lead
of
into
sleep.
injury as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
just take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Yeah.
Get the massage.
Yeah. I
for
need
it.
one of those so bad.
I'll massage you.
Oh my God. I need it.
I've got magic hands.
Yeah. Oh, please.
I do.
Don't tempt
The
me.
man
I
will
need it.
attest to that.
Yeah. I need it.
Yeah, he's like, wow. I'm like,
You're like, yeah. Yeah. I need
I
that.
feel like dancers just know though. I feel like we
I feel
understand.
like we know muscles and body and
It's just easy.
connect with it. Yeah.
No? Oh, my friend. Another episode.
Yeah, I think it's just a sign, you know, we wanted to just chat about it and bring it up because, again,
Yeah.
we know that things change and our schedules have changed and just being aware of it, I think, you know, taking the
I think
time to
that's
check
the
in with
biggest
yourself. Like, how am I eating? You know, if I'm really lethargic, is there something I can change? Am I eating super, like, a lot of sugar and takeout? Am I not really paying attention to it because I'm just so busy and I'm grabbing and go, which I do all the time?
Yes. Or
you're
am I overtraining? Am I tired? And, you know, I'm having these healthy meals, but I'm going to the gym and then I'm doing a 5-hour rehearsal and then I've got a show.
Yeah.
Maybe skip the gym,
Yeah.
you know, for one day.
Listen
That's
to your
okay.
body, you know, just it's a machine and we need it and we want to use it for so
Yeah.
and we have to remember we got to
Longevity.
treat it like it's going to stop at some point if we don't like take care of it. And I think we
Absolutely.
all need that reminder, especially me right now.
Let me be your reminder.
Yeah, I'll
Want
try.
to see my
I'll try.
scars?
But we'll probably dive into this. I think future
Yeah.
episode, maybe nutrition. Maybe we bring on somebody.
I
You know,
think
we got guests coming soon, you
should.
guys.
Yeah,
So
we've
yeah,
it's in the works.
definitely in the works. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
well, yep. Take care of that body, you guys. Take some
Yes.
rest today.
It's
Eat a nice
yours for your whole
nutritious
life.
meal.
And that's the only one you get.
Yes, exactly. And we will see you guys next week. Have the best
See you
Tuesday.
next week.